Katie Price dropped a number of revelations in her new book about her son Harvey. Katie Price, Harvey and Me was published today by Mirror Books. In it, the former glamour model talks openly and honestly about her life with Harvey, 19, who has a number of disabilities including autism, Prader-Wi syndrome and partial blindness. The mom of 5, 43, says that she wouldn't change a thing about Harvey and that he's perfect in her eyes, but she admits that looking after him isn't always easy. Here, we take a look at the biggest bombshell revelations in the book. Katie visited abortion clinic 3 times while pregnant with Harvey. In the early days of her pregnancy with Harvey, Katie tried 3 times to have an abortion but couldn't go through with it. On the first visit, Katie only made it as far as the car park. On the second, she was sat in the waiting room listening for her name to be called out when she decided to leave. And the third time, she was sitting in a hospital gown and being shown a scan of her baby, which made her realize she didn't want to do it. She says she has no regrets, and while she sometimes wonders what Harvey would be like without his disabilities, she wouldn't change a thing about him. Katie wants to adopt a child with special needs. Katie says that after finding out that Harvey had a string of severe disabilities, she felt even more love and protection for him than she had before. She said that learning to care for Harvey has made her want to adopt a child with disabilities in the future. Junior sobbed over chance meeting with the half-brother Harvey has never met. Katie's son Junior, who she shares with ex-husband Peter Andre, was once left feeling emotional after a chance meeting with Harvey's brother. Harvey has never met the other son of his estranged father, former footballer Dwight York. Dwight also fathered a child with ex-girlfriend Naomi Smith, but the 2 boys have never met. Junior was on holiday in Cyprus with his dad and sister Princess when by chance, they bumped into Naomi and her son Brandon Tiger, who apparently looked just like Harvey. Katie said it breaks her heart that Harvey will never have a relationship with his sibling and that Junior was overcome with emotion after seeing Harvey's brother. Katie says she has reached out to Naomi but has never been able to set up a meeting for the siblings. Katie's mom wants Dwight to step up and take responsibility. Katie's mom Amy says it's sad that Dwight isn't part of Harvey's life. She's still in touch with Dwight's agent a day after regularly exchanging messages in the hope of setting up a meeting. Amy says it's a shame that Harvey is not only missing out on a relationship with his father, but also with his half-brother. Katie has publicly reached out to Dwight a number of times and says in her book that he has refused to have a relationship with Harvey. But Dwight once said that it was Katie who was the problem. In his 2009 autobiography Born to Score, he wrote, "From the moment I set eyes on the little fella, I have loved my son like I could never ever have imagined possible." I am not going to hear any more that I did not care for Harvey, or have any understanding of his needs, or that I was not interested in his welfare. He added, "Over the years I have heard Katie saying how Andre is Harvey's dad and what a terrible, uncaring father I have been, all of which sticks in my throat." If she had not made life so difficult for me, might have been able to take a far more proactive role. Katie says Dwight disowned Harvey during fateful dinner meeting. Contrary to Dwight's previous claims, seen above, Katie says that he has disowned their son. She said that Dwight did actually speak to Harvey over the phone on his 10th birthday, but that Dwight was shocked when Harvey asked when they were going to see each other. Katie says she last saw Dwight in 2012 when she met him at a restaurant in Cheshire. She says that it was on that night that Dwight made it clear once and for all that he had no interest in being Harvey's dad. Katie thinks Uri Geller cured Harvey's blindness. Katie is convinced that Uri Geller's spoon-bending trick gave Harvey some of his sight back after doctors said he'd never be able to see. During an appearance on Richard and Judy, Katie says she and Uri got chatting in the green room about Harvey's sight. A number of doctors told Katie that Harvey would never be able to see, but now that he can to some degree, she thinks it's down to Uri. Katie wrote that Uri performed his famous spoon-bending trick before handing the utensil to Katie and telling her to keep it. He said that he didn't know when, but that one day Harvey would be able to see. She said that Harvey's eyes have not changed since he was a baby, but that somehow he is now able to see despite not having an optic nerve. Katie Price, Harvey and Me, published by Mirror Books, is on sale October 26. Get £5 off, RRP £20, with offer code FA9 from mirrorbooks.co.uk.